What is happening, people? What is happening? Let me not waste any time and let's just dive straight into this one.
If your support of me looks like you screaming at my wife, I would much rather not have any of your support at all.
I'm at least honest.
But it's disrespectful.
Okay, and some of the stuff she does is disrespectful. You never say anything she says. It's
Before we even get into what John's going to say next, John said that at least I'm honest. Interesting. You know, being honest doesn't always necessarily mean that you're right. Why? Because sometimes being honest, you may not actually know that your honesty is actually the truth. So here's the thing. John is somebody that heard something from Thais' father that he also doesn't even know is 100% necessarily correct because of the language barrier. But because he's heard something that he believes is infidelity, he decides to honestly tell his brother. Then he decides to turn up to the resort and honestly tell Thais how he feels. But like I said before though, sometimes being honest doesn't mean you're right, because you're coming out with accusations where there is no proof behind it. And John believes that the louder you are, the more right you are. Being loud doesn't make you right. And being honest doesn't also make you right. Finding facts and having the information that you need to make sure that everything that you're saying is actually true is what makes you right. So yeah, is what makes an honest comment right. Do you see what I'm saying? People get it so confused. So confused. They're not the same thing.
One could literally someone else and you'd sit there and be quiet.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm telling you.
Let me rewind that one back.
But it's disrespectful.
Okay, and some of the stuff she does is disrespectful. You never say anything she says. It's one could literally someone else and you'd sit there and be quiet.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm telling you.
The fact that he sat there and said to his own brother that you have no backbone, that you are a wimp, that you are a wuss, that you are a simp, that you are somebody that would literally let anything that she does go over your head is crazy work. Even if she was to actually sleep with someone in front of you or XYZ, you wouldn't do a single goddamn thing unless I spoke up for you. Damn, that is nasty work. That is hella disrespectful. But here's the thing though, John. Although people believe that your heart isn't in the right place, and I'm not saying his heart isn't in the right place. At the same time though, sometimes in life, people have to go through experiences to do what? People have to go through experiences to learn. Now, if Patrick is one of these people that doesn't seem to learn from his experiences, if he's one of these people that no matter what happens, he keeps repeating the same BS time and time again, you still can't save him. Because nobody can be saved in this life unless they're willing to listen. And the only time people are willing to listen is the day that they start to listen to themselves. That moment in time is the moment that they will actually start to seek help from those people that tried to tell them beforehand. But until then, anything that you say is irrelevant. And John believes that shouting and screaming and being aggressive is going to actually get into his brother's head and actually allow him to wake up, that he allows his wife to walk all over him. Like I said before, being loud doesn't make you right. Being loud actually makes people shut down. That's why when I used to work with kids, I used to always say to anyone that wanted to listen, when you're dealing with children, do not shout at them when they do something wrong in your class, in your lesson. Why? Because these kids experience being shouted at home all the time. So therefore, shouting it's nothing to them. It shuts them off. So they're going to continuously keep misbehaving in your lesson. That's why the best thing that you can do, and this is why I say to them, talk to them as if they were actually an adult. Because trust when I tell you, they will start to learn to respect that from you in the long haul. At first, it'll be a bit of a challenge, because they'll be still wanting to test the waters to see if they can really trust you. But the more you treat them with respect, the more they'll be like, okay, now I need to start listening, because this person's actually treating me differently to how I'm treated by any other person. more the situation is that if John could speak to his brother like an adult or speak to Thais as an adult, maybe, just maybe, he'd have a better chance at getting whatever the hell he wants to get at his chest across to both of them. But instead, he shouts, and what happens? Thais obviously then decides to walk out.
Thais how I feel, and I think she's lying. All right, and the fact that she couldn't answer nothing, she didn't even stay there. She didn't fight it. She took off like a coward.
He says, I think she's lying. So therefore, you have come with an accusation, loudly, aggressively, with an accusation that you're honest. And he says, but he's being honest. But yet you knew the whole time that your honest accusation didn't even come with facts. It came with just you thinking. And that's why I say being honest doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. Being honest is only right if it comes with facts, if it comes with the truth. Or, of course, if you change the context of a conversation. If somebody said to me, honestly tell me, how do you feel about XYZ? That's different because the context has been laid out of somebody asking your honest opinion on something. But you going out of your way to give someone your honest opinion or your honest thought without no evidence and without them actually asking you, doesn't make you right, John. Point blank.
Stand there, answer the questions.
I need you to understand.
And of course, she's not going to stand there and answer your questions if you're coming at her sideways. This conversation, do you know what the crazy thing is? This is what would have worked so much better in his favor. Let's say, for example, he had obviously approached Thais, cool, calm and collected, and said, hey, so I had a conversation with your father and this is what was said and this is how I took it. Can you please shed some light on this information? Now, however she reacts will tell him everything that she needs to know. But for him to go in there, guns blazing, louder than anything else, ain't no fool going to actually want to respond to you. I know I wouldn't be. I'd be like, who the hell do you think you are? You know what? Let me excuse myself from this table. I'm going. I'm out. I don't need to be with somebody screaming and shouting, disrespecting me like that. So to be fair, do I blame him for getting up and running? No. And the fact is, her getting up and walking out doesn't actually mean that she is guilty. It just means that she just didn't like the way you communicate. So therefore, that works in her favor because even if she was guilty, it's easy for her to say, well, I'm not going to speak to you if you're shouting at me. That's why you go into something cool, calm, and respectful. Respectful is always the best way to get the answer that you need because you see, when you're respectful, how that person behaves tells you everything that you need to know. How they respond, everything. But if you go in there guns blazing, you can't read nothing from that person. Because at the end of the day, they're just responding to your stupid ass energy.
And it's like, you have to stop disrespecting her. Because you know for a fact I would never do that to you. But
I apologize for yelling at you. All I can say is it won't happen again.
Alright, okay.
All I will say is that let's all take that apology with a pinch of salt, because I'm pretty sure something's going to happen again with these two at some point within this season. But I guess we have to wait and find out, do you know what I mean? But also, we do know that now, in real time, Thais and Patrick are going through a divorce anyway. So, very interesting to see how he's feeling about that at this moment in time. But it's been a good thing he's actually stayed out of it, to be fair. He hasn't said anything publicly, to be honest with you, because if he did that, then he would not be helping his brother. Do you see what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is, folks. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one right here is all about Rebecca and Zied.
My husband cheated on me, and I'm just curious if you can tell that or not.
That is wild. The fact that Rebecca took time to ask the medium if her own thoughts of her husband cheating on her is actually potentially true. Okay, let's get into it.
Communication, so he doesn't tell the truth.
Oh my God.
You see, this is where I think there's a lie. It's not that he can code a computer, but I think he's got an online presence.
Oh, interesting. Why is this interesting though? Because we've recently spoken about how Zied allegedly has an online dating profile. And everybody knows that today's world, to get an online dating profile, you also have to do a facial verification. Nobody can make, well, I'm not going to say nobody can make a fake account, but that's usually the rules. So that's why people are more inclined to believe that this dating profile is legit. But Zied has come out to defend himself and say that it is not his account. But now we are on this episode of The Last Resort, and she's been told by Medium that her husband has a online presence. But let's continue.
And he's observing the internet. He does it internet. He does it online because you can't catch him. Yeah.
I've had my suspicions that Zied is cheating in one way or another, so it really doesn't help to hear this.
Oh, dearie me. And now the medium is saying that this man has got an online presence that he is keeping. Because when you have an online presence, apparently it's easy for you to do it in secret. And interestingly enough, though, prior to this, the medium did ask and did mention about the fact that is Zied somebody that pretends that he's not very good with the internet? Is he somebody that, betrays himself from somebody that doesn't know what he's really doing when he's on the net? And she said, yes, he does portray him that way. She goes, no, the medium says, no. He's lying to you. He is lying to you. This man knows how to work the internet, and so much to the point that he has got a secret online presence. So this is here going to give us slightly more confirmation, more than ever, that the online account that we've seen circulating online, that we've spoken about already regarding him being on Hinge or Tinder, whichever one it is becoming more and more true. Ooh. The question is, though, how is Rebecca going to confront him in the next week's episode? The best thing that she can do is not confront him with her typical aggression. She needs to confront him with a cool, calm tone. Because if she confronts him that way, then however he reacts is going to be easy to read. If she confronts him with aggression and he responds with aggression, you can't read that, because his response could be based on her approach. Do you see what I'm saying? But give me your thoughts, folks. Give me your thoughts. And now here we are. This one's interesting.
We're here to spend time together, and you're off making memories with people who hate me instead of being here with me.
What stress and
We could do anything
depression.
else. We could go for a walk. We could do anything else. We could try to connect.
Shekinah.
This is
To be fair, a lot of people have been against Shekinah this season. I happen to be one of the people that hasn't necessarily been against her. I don't like her, but I call it as it is, because at the end of the day, Sarper's full of poop, and so is Shekinah. But between the two, who is the more real, the more honest person? Shekinah always take that for me, but I want you just to pay attention to what is actually happening here, folks, in this scene, all right? So, of course, she's expressing that you are not here to actually ever do anything with me. You're too busy out there trying to please the masses. She then suggests we could be going out for a walk. She says a walk, right? A walk means me and you can spend some time together. We can have a heart to heart. We can just enjoy the scenery. It just means at least we're making memories in the United Kingdom together. This was his response.
we are not
This is
here.
pulling us
We are
further
not here to
apart.
come vacation. It is a. I want you to come with me to sex therapy.
sure.
I'm sorry, but how is asking someone to go for a walk equal vacation? This proves more and more that this man only cares about himself and him being liked by the masses, and doesn't give a two flying F's about his relationship with his wife. It's just that simple. I don't know in what world going out for a walk is a vacation. Hey folks, later on today I'm gonna go out for a cheeky little bike ride. I guess I'm going on vacation. Later on I'm also gonna not only go for a cheeky bike ride, I'm also gonna go for a cheeky walk too. I must be going on vacation twice today. Wow, that's amazing. Or am I moving mad? Let's continue.
Let's go to sex therapy today. That sounds perfect. Let's do.
I'm trying my best, but she's not trying her best. I want her to try best too.
Stop fighting
not
with
the-
my.
You're trying your best to be friends with everybody else. She's trying her best to just try and focus on you two. Which one are you here for? Are you here for Sarper? He's the one that's on vacation.
Self, I feel like I'm fighting to be heard, and I'm fighting to be understood, and I miss.
You are not being hurt because you are telling it in an aggressive way.
Everyone's coming at me aggressive. I don't know how else to respond.
And this has been the theme. This has been the theme so far of this video, folks. Everybody is coming aggressive. How can anybody respond in a mature manner, in a calm manner, in any sensible manner if everybody is coming at each other aggressive? This is what I'm saying. Coming at people loud and aggressive doesn't give you no results. All it means is that you're going to get the same energy back. And that's the grand scheme of it. And it's funny because he's talking about you're coming at everybody aggressive, but yet you're literally coming her aggressive too. Your body language, the tone. So what you talking about? What are you talking about? But ladies and gentlemen, more of the situation is when you want to address something with someone, please do not come aggressive. Please do not come loud. Come peaceful.
You are strong, but you are not strong.
I know I'm not. I tell you all the time.
Why do you
I'm not
play
a
that you are
fighter.
strong?
I'm not. It's just.
Now, I just want to replay that just from here again because I want to get the full context of what's going on here again for you folks.
To respond.
You are strong, but you are not strong.
I know I'm not. I tell you all the time.
Why do you play?
Everyone's coming at me aggressive. I don't know how else to respond.
You are strong, but you are not strong.
I know I'm not. I tell you all the time.
Why do you
I'm not
play
a
that you are
fighter.
strong?
I'm not. It's just a defense. I'm protecting myself.
This was his response.
I feel really alone in this life. I really do.
That's your choice, Shekinah.
I'd rather be on my own than have people around me that don't truly treat me with love and respect.
His response is, that's your choice. Is he not listening to what's happening in this conversation? She told you at the very beginning that, hey, first and foremost, I feel misunderstood. I don't even feel heard. I feel like everybody's against me. Then she proceeds to say that, yes, I know I'm weak, so I pretend to be strong because it's the only thing that I've got. Then proceeds to say that I'm in this world on my own. That's how I feel. And then he proceeds by saying that it's your choice. This is the question that I have for you folks, especially for the ladies, or even the men that do like men. You know, it just doesn't matter who you are, right? Would anyone want to be in a relationship with a man or a person, a human being like Sarper? Somebody that literally, no matter what you tell him, everything that you say goes over his head because he's too concerned about going and pleases the masses. The fact that she sounded like she was near enough going to start crying. The fact that she gave the energy of being emotional, of actually being vulnerable enough to admit that she's weak. And he literally sat there and said, it's by your choice. Huh? This is that moment in time where you're supposed to do the one thing that she has been asking him this whole bloody season. This is that one time when he can do the one thing that she's been asking him in their whole bloody relationship. And that is a very simple thing, folks. Show me that you're my safe haven. Show me that you're somebody that I can come to even when I'm being petty, even when I'm being serious. I can come to you and you're at least going to be able to hold me down. But every step of the way, this man never does that. And all he likes to do is to put all the blame on Shekinah. This man's never been a man. All he ever does is take no accountability. All he ever does is say, Shekinah does this, Shekinah does that. I've never once heard Sarper say, you know what, this is what I should be doing better. In fact, that's a lie. The only time I've heard him take a form of accountability is only if it's been to please the masses. I've never seen him necessarily take any accountability for his relationship with Shekinah. This whole entire season, the only time he's been like, okay, maybe I was wrong or maybe I'm sorry, is when he was apologizing to Zied for disrespecting Rebecca. He'll happily apologize to those, but he won't do the same thing to his partner. He'll happily go and listen to those other folks. Cara came to him and said, so how do you feel about me being an OF, considering of your history? He was there to give her a heart-to-heart, not a heart-to-heart, but he was there to give her, you know, a sensible answer because he listened and he gave her an actual answer that she could actually go with. His wife has been repeating the same thing and he has absolutely given her nothing. Literally, him and Russ are like the same person. Him, Russ, Sumit, Patrick. Do you know what? Every single man in this show, they're all the same weak mo. I really dislike all the men in this show, to be honest with you, this season. Every single one of them are just a calamity of stupidity. You know, there's no... Oh, my days. I don't even know which one's the worst one, to be honest with you. But I do know which one's got everyone... But I do know which one has manipulated the audience the most, and that's probably more because of pretty privilege, and that's freaking G. The man that doesn't even the man that doesn't even put money on the table for his own child. The man that only sees his child once a week. And people want to grill his wife. That's funny, man. Anyway, let's continue. Oh man, don't even get me started on Oswello. That reaction was funny, to be honest with you.
Respect, just like possible.
And yes, I know Oswello is not a part of the season. It's just that obviously when I made my video on the YouTube Shorts, in case you haven't seen it, where I called him out for being abusive and whatnot and abandoning his kids, people We're very defensive, which is very, very fascinating. He deserves a second chance. Listen, you beat a woman. You don't get no second chances in my world. I tell you that now. You know what I mean? Keep your hands to yourself. But let's continue.
You are in Mission Impossible. Please change yourself, Shekinah. You will lose me.
And then his reaction is, please change yourself or you will lose me. What a reassuring husband. What a reassuring husband. No wonder why Shekinah continues to be more crazy and crazy and crazy. But the difference between Shekinah and Sarper is that Shekinah is 100% true to herself. Listen, again, I'm not a fan of her character, but she's 100% true to herself. She can read through BS. She can read through things that she understands aren't good for her. Well, I say that's a lie, because if she did, then she wouldn't be with this waste man. Anyway, let's continue.
When I'm not behaving the way that he thinks I should, he always threatens to leave me. And that creates more instability in our relationship. On the inside, I'm losing my mind. But
And I'm pretty sure anybody else will be losing their bloody mind. Absolutely, utterly embarrassing by Sarper. But at the same time, not surprising. Now, listen, folks, I am not saying anybody should be defending Shekinah. Absolutely not. I'm just saying, people, Sarper's more of a piece of work than Shekinah is. Trust me when I tell you. And also, haven't you noticed, every conversation that he has, he always has to turn everything into a joke. He can't have serious conversations because he has no emotional intelligence. Doesn't have none of it. Oh, my movie mad. Ooh, let's move on to the next one, folks. This one right here.
Years ago, my father abandoned me and my mother with all our siblings, and it was very hard on us because I depended on him, not just like economically, but like emotionally.
You know, when people lose a parent, let me just make it abundantly clear in terms of the context here. When somebody loses their parents due to their parents abandoning them, how it affects people goes a long way. And I feel like finding this information out about Paola really does define and explain her so much more in terms of what she wants and requires from Russ. But the thing that's more disappointing is that Russ knew this information. But let me continue.
I feel like I hold so much grudges, and I feel like that's kind of affecting a lot of things in my life.
Now, the grudge part is one thing, okay? That is a whole other type of conversation, right? Because obviously this results to her holding grudges in other aspects. But in this scene, what I've learned and what I believe we should all learn more than ever is that she was looking to have a husband that could be basically the father figure. That could be that role. You know, we've all heard the whole thing about how women can have a daddy issues. Even some men even can have mum issues and whatnot. So it is historically known that when a man seeks a woman, he seeks a woman to be like his mother, and women seek a man to be like their father, but not in some weird way. Just put it out there, you know what I'm saying, right? More the situation is that Paola has had to fend for herself for such a long time, ever since her father abandoned her. So therefore, she had to tap into this masculine energy. And because of the masculine energy, upon initially meeting Russ, she was still in that energy. And that's why she was asking Russ to change this, to change that, to move there, and to move there. But then once she understood that this man was actually going to go places and this man was going to bend over backwards for her, I guess that's when she was like, oh, hold on a minute, but now I actually need him to step in and actually be that masculine figure in my life. But unfortunately for Russ, he doesn't have it in him. And this is where their clash is always going to be in their relationship. Their relationship is always going to clash because really and truly, deep down, what she needs from him more than ever is a man that listens and a man that knows how to tap in to be able to lead, a man that basically is a man's man. But unfortunately for Russ, he's one of these men that desires to be more of a diva than anything else, because anything that goes wrong in that relationship, he likes to always blame Paola for this, rather than actually look at himself and say, you know what, maybe I should have stood in business on this situation. Maybe I should have stood up and said something on this situation. He doesn't do none of those things. He just likes to complain and say that she's bullying me again. Well, okay, we'll leave her then. But hey, folks, give me your thoughts. With that being said, though, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the comment section. Peace.